Hello and welcome to Smiling Souls. This is Stephanie Keenan Ray and Wendy. How are you doing?
Hello.
Awesome. How are you doing today?
Good. And I see, of course, you once again dressed alike, same lip color,
Yes. It's what we do. It's what we do.
because we share a brain.
We share a brain.
Mhm. Yes.
And you look fabulous.
Well, thank you. Thank you. As do you, Dr. Erin. Like that blue color.
My color.
I love that color. Mhm.
It's actually the color of it's my brand color too. It just
Yeah.
happened to match. I didn't buy this. I bought this before I rebranded. So
Oh, genius. I
Yep.
love that. I love that.
So good.
Let's see. Oh, we're pulling oracle cards, right?
Yes.
Got it.
So let's see. Today I pulled from my Druid plant oracles.
I love that one.
Yeah, so do I. Sometimes the words can be crazy, but this one's good and easy. I got chamomile.
Oh, I love chamomile.
And
Oh,
it's such a pretty card.
yes.
So, in the upright position, which is how I got it, it is about rest, guardianship, and regeneration. It says chamomile is a perennial herb found growing in most of Europe, North Africa, and the temperate regions of Asia. In Britain, 4 species grow in the wild. Common chamomile is cultivated in herb gardens and on lawns. The plant's natural habitat is clifftop grasslands, damp woodlands, clearings, and sandy commons, but it adapts well to grazed lands and mowed lawns and can be found in village greens and cricket patches. So English. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. The card shows common chamomile growing beneath an apple tree in early summer before fruits have ripened. In the distance, an ancient river finds its way to the sea. The upright meaning chamomile brings calm, rest, and protection. If you have chosen this card, it means you are entering or in need of entering a calm phase in which you will be able to connect again with your inner resources, both physical and spiritual. Our lives can be so frantic that even when we do take time to rest, we find it hard to calm down. Chamomile can help us do this. In addition, chamomile is one of the St. John wort plants, a term used for a number of herbs traditionally gathered on St. John's Day and originally probably at the summer solstice. These plants convey the energy of the summer sun, of regeneration and vitality. Without vitality, whatever we do is colored by a sense of fatigue or lack of enthusiasm, and choosing this card may suggest that you need to focus on how you regain your zest for life and the energy you need to cope with the demands of life you have chosen. This card may also be suggesting a need to go back to the basics, the simple things of life, and even return to the family and nurturing it can offer. And that's it. So,
Woo!
which I mean, it's funny because I feel like I've been getting back on that path of doing the like self-care, resting, nurturing things.
Yeah.
And the last 2 days I've been like, I'm going to bed so early because I just know that I have to, you know? So clearly it's just reconfirming that, yes, listen to your body, do the things.
And what a perfect
And
card.
actually, chamomile has been a very useful essential oil this week because my skin has been cranky and just like flared up and irritated. So the chamomile was calming things down. And so that's a good thing.
Ooh, I did not know that. And I was just thinking as you were reading that last part stuff, what a perfect card to draw for our guest today. Vitality.
so.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, all
Yeah.
the things. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have pulled Sandalphon. Oh, by the way, I pulled from my Archangel
Oh, Kyle Gray. Okay.
card. Typically, I pull from another deck, but this time I muscle tested my 3 decks, and the angels said you need to pull from this one today. So here we are. So I pulled Sandalphon, building the bridge. Your role is to create a connection between heaven, earth, and all hearts.
Mm-hmm.
So Sandalphon's name means co-brother, most likely referring to the idea that he is the twin brother of Metatron. The on in his name comes from the word throne, meaning this is an angel who is around or next to the throne of God. The faun is an indication that Sandalphon has connections to music and sound, and he's often regarded as heaven's master of song. He is one of the youngest yet tallest of the angels. In a past life, he was the prophet Elijah, and when it came to his time of ascension, due to his spiritual knowledge, he attained angelic status. Now he helps those on earth step into their most angelic qualities. So the message. Angels are grateful for the light and energy you bring to the earth, and whether you realize it or not, there is a sacred mission unfolding for you at this time. You are creating a powerful bridge of light between heaven and earth, and your role is to bring that light that crosses that bridge to those who need it most. Take the time to become aware of those in your life who might be feeling left out, unsupported, and othered. Your work is about bringing them together. You are, in fact, a miracle, and your life is proof that miracles are possible. Think of all that you've faced and overcome, and all that you've uncovered and healed. Now your work is to become a miracle worker. Angelic wisdom is reminding you to share your story and personal experience as a way of guiding others to see what is possible for them. Dive deep into the ways you can do this. Your life mission is just beginning.
Nice.
Wow, wow. And so last but not least, and we'll introduce Dr. Erin in just a second, but Dr. Erin, have you drawn an oracle card from your deck?
I did. So I have a couple. I have a Kyle Gray angel deck in the other room.
Yeah.
But I have the Tasha Silver Divine Abundance deck here.
It's gorgeous.
And guess what I got today?
What?
I got self-love.
How appropriate.
How appropriate, right? So this one is short. It says, let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerable inner child. I long to take care of myself like never before.
Oh, wow. Well, how
So
appropriate.
we got some really good cards that are all on the same wavelength today.
For sure.
100% on the same wavelength.
So should we tell people how they can get creative and change up their Mondays?
Yes.
So I created this really cool creative network called Natural Beauties Arts and Ideas Creative Network. And we do these creative sanctuary sessions every second and fourth Monday of the month. And they're super fun. What do you think about them? Because I know you've been to a few.
Oh, I've been to a few. And I have to tell you, when you told me about this the first time, I was like, Mondays, I don't like to schedule anything on Mondays because I just like to flow into my week and not have anything on the calendar. And then I was like, you know what? It's Stephanie. I'm gonna pop in and just see what this is all about. And I'm glad I did, because joke's on me. I was able to pick up an old sketch pad that I've had for a year, not touched, and some watercolors. And I was able to just sit there and play. And it was fun. And it released a lot of the nervousness and anxiety that I was experiencing over, okay, it's a new week and I got to do this and I got to da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I was just able to release all that. And I had fun and I created. So when you said sanctuary, I'm like, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, is just engaging that right side of your brain, that creative side, where we can, in doing so, it brings joy and happiness and innovation. And ultimately that energy flows over into our business, into our personal lives. And, you know, it just makes us happier and more efficient, and like our problem solving skills actually get better. Like all sorts of things improve. It's so cool.
Totally.
So I'd love to have you join us on a creative session, second and fourth Mondays of the month, noontime Eastern Standard Time. And the website that you can go to check it out is my link tree. So linktr.ee/natural_beauties. And that will get you there. You can check it out. You can register and learn more about it. Hope to see you there.
Yay! It is our honor to welcome Dr. Erin Foley to Smiling Souls. Dr. Erin, that's what I call her, Dr. Erin. Sometimes I call her Doc, but Dr. Erin is a functional medicine practitioner, National Board of Certified Health Coach, chiropractor, speaker, and author. With decades of experience in caring for patients and clients, Dr. Erin's focus is on helping women stop the hormone guessing game. Yeah, totally. She is your natural hormone balancing detective. I feel like you need like a spyglass or something when you.
It's in my logo now. It's actually in my yeah, all of that.
That's perfect, because that's what I think of, right? That
Uh-huh.
magnifying glass. Dr. Erin helps women from 35 to 75 get to the root cause of health issues and provides relevant and personalized solutions around energy, sleep, weight, metabolism, mood, gut health, peri-menopause, menopause, and creating vibrant health. She works virtually and in person with hormone testing, nutrition, supplements, lifestyle, and health coaching programs. So welcome, Dr. Erin.
Coming back. I just had to go get my business card because
No worries.
this is my business card.
Yes.
It's all rebranded. And so, yeah, I have the magnifying glass, which is really cool because one of the things I found out through my branding experience is that I am a detective. I love puzzles. I love figuring things out. I have this brain that just does that. And so it's about, getting to the root cause of women's health issues. And so you kind of need to have that detective brain.
Yeah.
And enjoy that. So
100%. And you sure are good at solving puzzles, because I was one of your puzzles. And we can talk about that if it comes into conversation. But Dr. Erin, I'd love to ask you, what do you do? Like, how does this work? How do you work with women and stress and hormones and self-care and nutrition? How does all that come together?
Okay, well, good question. My background is as a chiropractor. I did that for decades, and I'm a lifelong learner, so I always have to learn more. So, and when I was in my practice in California, that was a long time ago, I always wanted to get into women's health, and so when we moved to Colorado in '97, I became nationally board certified in acupuncture because it's like one more thing. That was really huge for women's health and hormones was acupuncture, but then it's like there's still that next piece missing. And so I became certified in functional medicine about over 10 years ago. And so what I do is when I talk about hormones, I do a lot of public speaking. And so when I talk about hormones, I always ask women, what do you think about? Right. Tell me what you think about when you hear the word hormone. So it depends on whether you're 35 or 55. It's a different experience. And so women think about hormones being my period or my hot flashes or my menopause or whatever, that whole transition. But your hormones are that. Think of those hormones, your female hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, male hormone, but you need that. Tip of the iceberg, but the part of the iceberg under the water is your metabolic hormones. And these are your hormones that are your cortisol, your blood sugar, your thyroid. And these are the hormones that actually are the ones that you have whether you're 35 or 75. So I have women who say, oh, I've already been through menopause. I don't have any hormones. Yes, you do. Those other metabolic hormones influence your energy, your weight, your sleep, your mood. Gut health is in there, inflammation. And the two biggest things women come to see me for are weight and energy. They're not coming for hot flashes. They're coming because they're stuck with their weight. Usually they're stressed out. And then they're also low energy, some combination of sleep and energy and mood. And so that's really my specialty. So the thing is, so we're looking at all the hormones together, individualized about like, well, if you're 55, you still have female hormones. What are they doing? But really, what's your cortisol doing? That's like
Mm-hmm.
really big, important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just speaking from my experience with you, like I came to you because I was tired. I was tired all the time. I couldn't focus. I knew I needed to lose weight, right? And I was like, all right, I'll talk to Dr. Erin. I know I'm not gonna like the diet she puts me on. Like I said before I even talked to you, I'm not gonna like this. This is gonna suck. But I know I need to do it. Well, you talk about tip of the iceberg. It was my adrenals were pretty much almost shot. Got me on a supplement for that. I'm very sensitive to carbs. Didn't know that. But once I changed my diet, by the way, and it wasn't hard, just saying, and I lost weight like that. And I was like, oh, dang. Okay. It didn't have to be that difficult. So it wasn't, you're right. It wasn't, I didn't come to you for, well, okay. The hot flashes I was having, that came up later. Like, oh, hey, can you fix this?
As things change, yeah, in your journey, you know, yeah.
And wow. So you talk about tip of the iceberg. There was so much underneath that I didn't even realize was there. And I'm in Indiana. You're in Colorado.
Yeah.
The testing was easy, effortless. And once you got that, like your detective work done,
yeah,
then the next phase happened and I started feeling better, started having more focus. I was not napping every damn day like I was. It was right. It was just hampering me. So things really turned and changed drastically just from the investigation that you did and the small tweaks that you asked me to make. It wasn't hard.
Well, and that's really typical. That's the work. It's being finding out what's going on. Because the big mistake I see women making all the time is they're doing Dr. Google and they're coming to me with a bag of supplements. They're taking this infomercial, whatever. Oh, my friend, this influencer on Instagram. Oh, I need to lose weight. I got this pill. And 30 days later, it's like, well, I haven't lost, it's just, there's really no quick fixes out there. I mean, we do have that going on with the drug industry and weight loss, but there's a whole thing about like not treating the underlying issues. But the mistakes women make are we kind of like, I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
So really it's like if you hire people to help you in your business or, you need to hire people to help you with your health, because the one thing I hear all the time is women come to me and maybe they say, oh, I know what to do. I can't do it. So a perspective around that is, so your cortisol is your fight or flight hormone, and it is the one that activates as a survival hormone, but most women are, in fight or flight all day from small stresses that are chronic daily stresses. And if women, we activate our hormones, stress hormones, it'll activate and circulate for 24 hours. That means if you activate your hormones every morning because you have something going on stressful every day, you're just constantly activating it. Men only activate, like their hormones only, cortisol will circulate for 9 hours because they don't have all these other hormones. And so women are in a constant chronic state of stress from this cortisol. It's affected by your blood sugar. And so it's hard to cope many times. And so women try to do things themselves. I see women coming to me like, well, I'm on all these adrenal things. Well, what's your testing say? If you have high cortisol, you need this, versus if you have low cortisol, you need this. And so it's very targeted. And I think, there's just a lot that I look at it as you save time. Yes, you spend money, but you save money. You save time by just getting it taken care of. And because this is how we make our businesses and our live our lives, is how you show up with your energy, your weight, your mood, your sleep, gut health. If you're tired all the time from not sleeping because you're stressed, then the next part of that's a cycle of stress. So the next part of that is that you wake up tired and now you're like stressed. Now I'm drinking herbal tea. But when you're stressed, yeah, I want my black tea. It's like I want my caffeine. And a lot of women will talk about like the
Yeah.
caffeine, the 3 o'clock caffeine
Mhm.
coffee candy bar break. I mean, they're just trying to get through the day. That will
Right.
further interrupt sleep. And then they're tired. And then
Yep.
it's just cycle. And that leads to can lead to a path of stress eating,
Mhm.
weight gain.
Yeah.
Um, and I've seen so many women who like they just go in this downward spiral of stress and then they get in this hole and they can't pull themselves out. So it's like what I like to help women with is testing. It's a little different if you're out of state because I'm not doctor patient with out of state. I'm coach client. But in Colorado, I'm doctor patient. But it's about finding out, testing. I have women from other states. It's like I tell them, hey, go see your doctor and get these
Yeah.
tests, and they bring them back to me. And
Right.
then it's nutrition, supplements, lifestyle. And I love what you said about like little small tweaks because so many of us are like all or nothing, perfection.
Right.
If I can't do it all, I'm not all in. But it's like as a board
Mhm.
certified health coach, small habit tweaks make a
Yeah.
huge difference. If you start um, learning to read labels and cutting back on the sugar, upping your protein just a little bit, taking the right
Mhm.
supplements, going to the gym once a week, taking a walk around the block once a week.
Mhm.
And in 3 months, that makes a huge difference. So
Mhm.
I hope that answers the question. I kind of meandered there, but I know this is a conversation.
The conversation. You did great.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And I love that it's like simple suggestions, going to the gym once a week, go taking a walk once a week. Like
Right,
that's
right.
Yeah.
simple and doable instead of being like, I have to do this 3 times a week and then I have to do this and I have to do this. So then that just adds to the stress that you're
Absolutely.
already under.
And you have to make it doable. So as a
Mhm.
coach, as you know, um, like if somebody wants to start exercising, it might be they need, like I had one woman who I worked with for like a year because she was in such a low hole. Like we're talking like weekly almost for a year because she was in a
Mhm.
hole. And
Mhm.
for her, it was like walk around the block once a week for 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Success the next week. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I can do that. By the time, we got 3 months in, now she's walking around the block 3 times a week. She's starting
Mhm.
to feel better.
Mhm.
And there's just, yeah, I think women have a lot of stress. And so what we have to do is, I'm really a big one on self-care, of course, as you are.
Mhm.
What can you do yourself?
Mhm.
And I'm really big on boundaries and what can you
Mhm.
let go of? Because
Yeah.
I had a car accident in a couple months ago, and it reaffirmed like what do I need to let go of?
Mhm.
What are my glass? So you have the balls that you have in the air, right? So you have your glass balls that you can't drop. You
Mhm.
also have your rubber balls that if they drop, they're going to bounce. You're not going to die. Nobody's going to
Yep.
die.
Right.
Mhm.
And so I think what I see with women is they're just taking care of everybody, taking care of everybody in
Mhm.
their family,
Mhm.
their business, maybe the finances. And I think so many women are at a breaking point.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%.
And
And
hormones
it's
are a big part of that.
Mhm.
So a lot of women come into me and they may be like, well, I'm lazy. I'm not motivated. Well, I don't know any women who are lazy, right?
Right.
Right.
They're not motivated because they may have really low cortisol, which is like not having
Exactly.
any battery. You charge your phone up and the next morning you're starting the day with 50% battery. And
Right.
you're trying to get through the day and you're using maybe caffeine and sugar.
Mhm.
And it's, so this is where self-care is huge to break the cycle of stress. And you have to become your own advocate, along with nutrition, the supplements, and the testing can be key to find out. I have a lot of women who come in and they're like, "Oh, I'm so glad to find out that's what's going on with my cortisol. There's nothing
Right.
Right.
wrong with me. It's my
Yep.
hormones out of whack, and I can fix it,
Yeah.
but with things." So,
Mhm.
yeah.
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 That's
And
usually.
it's interesting too because it might be that there's like one big underlying like hormone thing, but they're all connected and they're all related. So if one's out of whack, there's usually something else connected too. So it's like,
Yeah.
there is that careful unweaving of, you know.
I like that. Yeah. Well, if your cortisol is low, I mean, it's affected, blood sugar and cortisol affect each other. So if you're stress eating because you're stressed and you're spiking your blood sugar with too many refined carbs and sugars, it'll spike your cortisol. It can deplete your cortisol. Cortisol, when it gets depleted, can pull from your female hormones. And then now you might be having PMS and hot flashes. It's totally not fair to have that at the same time.
Right.
But it's a delicate balance. And it's like, how do we break? Like I love to tell women, take inventory of your health, what's going on with your energy, your weight, your mood, your sleep, your gut, your digestion. Look at your stress, look at your relationships, do it in a journal, and then see where to start, you know. Like there's always one thing, and usually a lot of it's going to be food and it's going to be lifestyle, busyness. You know? So.
Yeah.
And should we talk about how everyone is very stressed right now? Every woman is, I'm speaking broadly, but I feel this to be true because we talked about it earlier. Every woman is very, very stressed. And so you mentioned, Dr. Erin, like, well, what can we control? There are a lot of things happening that we have no control of, but what can we control so that we are not so stressed?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, at our time in our environment right now, we have a lot of collective stress with politics and all sorts of things. So what can we control? We can control our mindset, and we can control our consumption of the news. We do not, well, personally, I do not feel like I need to be informed 24 hours a day of what's going on. I'm I'm informed, but I'm also managing and controlling what I don't need to see all the things.
100%.
I need to be protective of my own energy and nervous system. So that's the first thing. So really it's like, years ago, I got rid of cable TV so I don't have to watch television commercials because they're all about drugs, pharma.
They are.
You know,
Oh my
so I
God.
don't watch TV commercials. I don't watch anything but Netflix. So I don't watch news. I will read my news, and maybe it's just the headlines. So I know what's going on. So that's one thing about what you're letting in, but it's also social media. You know this. You know, I'm really becoming very aware of my social media. Because all of that activates. If you've ever been on like anything in the last few months, like, oh my God, now I'm in fight or flight from reading the story. You know, I'm going to, I mean, it's just being really what works for you, setting a timer. So that's like getting yourself out of that kind of outside stuff coming in. And then what you can control on your own is your mindset. Evaluate your stress. Are you really stressed? You know, who can you ask for help? Do you have a family? Do you need to delegate to other family members some things that, because as women, you know, we do it all. So those are a few things, but gosh, there's so many. I mean, it's like the more stressed you are, the more self-care you need. So upping your yoga, stretching, meditation, essential oils. So I love essential oils. So adaptive. This is one for stress. It's like, I just do this. I have them all over my house. They're like everywhere. This is a natural medicine toolkit. So Stephanie is part of doTERRA, and you know, talk to her, but I use essential oils every single day. So plant medicine. These are things you can just learn about and do yourself. Healthy nutrition, movement. You don't have to go to the gym and go to the elliptical machine for an hour. Walk around the block. You know, do what you love. Don't do something, you know, don't move your body somehow. And, you know, hydrate, water.
I think to me, one of the biggest things is, as someone who kind of helps women with stuff like this, it's getting them like your glass ball versus bouncy ball analogy is so amazingly wonderful because there are so many women who like just feel they have to do for their kids, have to do all the things when they have teenagers or bigger children who perfectly well could do it themselves.
Exactly.
You know, and you know, it's not my place to say that they shouldn't do these things, but at the same, or how they should parent. But like lately, that's been one on my mind quite heavily lately, is like, how are you doing a service for your children when you're not letting them learn how to do the thing? Like when my mom and dad got married, and my dad was in the military, so they immediately moved to, God, I don't remember if it was Oklahoma or Texas. Either way, very far away from home. And basically her dad like was Mr. Gourmet and like cooked all the meals. Well, so did my grandmother. They both cooked a lot. But Ernest never let my mother into the kitchen. And like he was like, no. So she knew nothing of how to cook.
Oh, no.
She could barely make spaghetti, you know? She had never been as far west as Worcester, Massachusetts. So like going to the end of the world, according to her, you know, it was like crazy. Like, and I just think of like the stresses she must have been under, you know, with new marriage. She was pregnant with my sister. She's got no clue how to run a household, and it's 1968 back then, you know. She's like, you know, she has no clue, and she had to learn really. And it took like luckily my dad was one of the older kids in his family, so he knew things and could teach her things, and she just learned. However, I don't even know how she learned, but you know, it was a tough learning experience, right? And I think of, you know, that the cliche Italian man whose mama does everything for him, right? And you know, and then he gets married, and it's like, well, you don't do it the way mama did it, you know? And it's like, oh my gosh, you know, as a mom of a boy, I'm like, you are going to be a good man who knows how to do things, and you're going to help your wife or your whoever you marry, and you know, and you're going to be a fantastic human. And like he's 10 and he's so excited. Like the other night he got to take his food out of the oven, you know, and he's like, growing up and learning the things to be able to take care of myself and be more independent. So yeah, I think there's an element there of like teaching women to let go of the balls and hand that control over to somebody else and let them learn because they can, you know? Yeah. And that's a hard one sometimes for people.
It's not easy, but Steph, I told you this before, you're doing it right because you are showing your son, like, because kids watch, they watch what mom does. They watch what dad does. So you're showing him by example, I'm going to go to bed early tonight because I'm tired, right? Yeah. I am going to bathe myself in my essential oil because I need it. Right. I feel like everybody needs to like get that stress, whatever you do.
He is so funny because he totally he has mirrored those things back. Like there have been days where I walk by the bathroom and he's sitting there, you know, putting his oils on and like, you know,
yeah. And he's going to have a much different experience in life.
Yep.
Just saying.
And his, you know, whoever he, you know, marries, whatever.
Yep.
Is going to be lucky.
Yeah, for sure.
They are.
You know, he's not somebody, a man baby or something.
Right. We're going to do our best. We're going to do our best. I mean, he has his own personal, he's just kind of in his own planet sometimes. I do sometimes joke that we're raising a Sheldon. So, you know, so there are those elements where it's like,
but you made a good point that everything cannot be a glass ball. And I didn't make that up. So I heard
that.
Everything can't be a glass ball. And I think, you know, like I get a lot of women who have the sports moms, and maybe they have several kids or a couple kids, and they're just, these women are constantly every night of the week, all weekends. and they love it.
Yep.
But
do they love it, or are they just so in it that they don't even
well, they're doing for their
know?
kids, so they
They're
love
doing.
doing for their kids. So I can't really say, but I do know, an experience with one was that, she was a busy businesswoman in accounting, which is a super stressful profession. And she
Yeah.
has two kids, and 18 years later, then they went up to college.
Yeah.
She was physically a mess because she had not cared for herself for 18 years. So her
Oof.
kids, husband and business came first. So
Yeah.
this is
Wow.
in this where we are in our I don't know, in the world these days is I think we just have to care more for ourselves and see what we need to let go of and boundaries and saying no. And I have a great recommendation. The book is in the other room.
Yes.
But it's called Gentle, and it's by Courtney Carver. She writes minimalism and simplicity blogs, and it's my new manifesto. She just came out, and it's about we are just all so hyper about everything that it's about how to really start caring for yourself deeply, like radical self-care. And so having we all have big, like a lot of women are having a lot of big things happen. Like I had a car accident. It's like, okay, it's like, it wasn't my fault. And boom, it affects my life. And so I've had to slow down because I had a brain injury. And it's like forcing me again to slow down.
Yeah.
And I think we have to be very aware of our environment, our life, our stress, and then start peeling away the layers of the things that maybe we don't need to do.
Well, and in slowing down, you find like, oh, it's okay. Like things are still operating. My business is still doing okay. Like, and maybe you're enjoying life a little bit more too.
It's okay to take a nap. It's okay to take a bath. It's okay to like go read a book and teach your kids to be more independent or have boundaries around your time. There's just so much to unpack there about how we run our businesses, our schedule, time management, but also the perception of how work versus being work busy, like, oh, I have to work all the time.
No, you don't.
I mean, and we don't. So
yeah, it's true. It's true. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I feel like the more we tap into those, and actually it's funny because like you said, the oracle cards this morning, they're all related to that
they are.
self-love, taking care of ourselves. So very on point. But yeah, the more we tap into it, the easier it is to manage that stress that's around us and to have a different perspective, like to almost look at it like, okay, that's that. This is my world, right?
Giving yourself permission because it affects your hormones. It physically, I mean, I have one woman who came to me and she has this very high stress job. She's managing people. She loves her job, but her cortisol was through the roof. I mean, so that creates a physical stress. So she's working on this wired physical energy. Her body's in overdrive all the time. And then she's in this job. And so this is the thing. There's no quick fix. It's like you've got to know, recognize, and then learn, okay, what do I need to do with my food, my supplements, my rest, self-care.
Yep.
And what I like, so in my work with women, my goal is to teach women what they can do themselves. I'm not like they go through programs with me, but then it's like, okay, you can fly now, and I'm still here to help you and support you. But we really all need to learn, relearn habits to be sustainable.
Absolutely.
That's like mic drop right there.
Yeah.
And so what I'm taking away from this is, change doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be hard. Just one little tweak at a time. And you be mindful of what you're letting in, right? With what's going on. Be mindful of your mindset, right? evaluate your stress, ask for help, delegate, and then up your self-care. Radical self-care is what's needed right now. And so Dr. Erin, first of all, thank you for being our guest. Second of all, I have been blessed by working with you through my health, and I would not be sitting here today if it were not for you. No shadow of a joke. And so I encourage all of you, if you have a just a hint that, I think Dr. Erin might be able to help me, reach out to her. She has, correct me if I'm wrong, she has a call that you can sign up with her, healthy hormone call. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And she also has a free guide for you. So
I have 2 free guides now.
no way.
I just recently finished my stress-free blueprint, 5 steps to lasting bliss, because my newest, I'm talking a lot more on stress right now. So, so I have 2 free guides, and you can go to the website, vibranthealthywoman.com. You can go to services at the bottom. There's the 2 free guides, but also free calls at the very top. So yeah.
Exactly. So all of that stuff is going to put into the show notes, and you'll have that. So yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Erin, for being
Oh, thank you. This was a pleasure. You love talking with you. This was a great conversation, and thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome.
Anytime. And see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.